In the fifth step of your initiation, you take over an office in the community into which you are received, your cosmic office. For example, that of a co-worker or disciple of the Brotherhood, a teacher, healer, king of the spirit, priest, judge, or spiritual warrior. At least in the subtle world, in eternity, in your true existence, you are now a disciple, a teacher, or a king of the spirit. With this identity, you must also appear in the material world. Your body, your perishable self, is only the lowest level of this overall personality. Materially, you are a baker or a shoemaker, and subtly, spiritually, a disciple or a king. Why do you always emphasize the office of a disciple? Because everyone who walks the spiritual path, whatever other office he holds and however high he has already ascended, even a Mahatma, even a world teacher like Jesus or Buddha, is always also the disciple of someone even greater. You take your place in the chain of hierarchy. On your level, in your place, in your area of responsibility, you are a part of the world government. Whether you bear responsibility as a kindergarten or school teacher, a doctor, or in any other position, through you the hierarchy acts on the material plane. You are a great lord, a hierarch, a spirit ruler, even if according to earthly standards you might be a small cogwheel only. As a member of hierarchy, you participate in its power. You can appear like a prince, expect and instill the respect due to your position, because you are a representative of the Mahatmas on earth, and they stand behind you. My people may use my power. Your teacher dresses you in the subtle robe that belongs to your office, just as a doctor wears his gown, a priest his vestment, a philosopher his cloak, a monk his cowl, a judge his robe, a fighter his armor, and a soldier or policeman his uniform. You put on the white robe of a hierarch, in spirit, of course. Wear this garment with the sign community of Maitreya over the heart, with pride and dignity. Do not underestimate this exercise. The invisible toga reminds you that in the world you are always in office and must set an example. It helps you to maintain your dignity. Your aura is decisively determined by your official attire, even if it is only virtual. You must be recognizable as a spiritual person among the worldly ones. The Brotherhood entrusts you with an office. It is your greatest happiness and honor to be allowed to serve as a helper and co-worker of the Mahatmas. You conscientiously carry out the duties associated with your position. Your only concern is to fill your office with life and to embody the ideal of an office bearer. Your person steps back in favor of your office. Mortals like to profess non-committally that they want to become a better man. We say in more concrete terms, you strive to be a good disciple, a good doctor, a good judge, a good craftsman, a good mother, a good father, or a good president. The duties of your office tell you in every situation how you should behave and what you should do or not do. The priest at divine service, the teacher in front of his class, the doctor in his practice, and the fireman on duty are completely transformed. Personal concerns fade into the background. Earthly worries fall off them. They joyfully serve only their vocation and do not think any longer of themselves. It is your office that transfigures your life. Your true greatness lies in your cosmic office. Even if, like the saints Alphonse Rodriguez or Conrad von Parzam, you are only acting as a porter at the monastery gate. Like a soldier or a policeman, you are proud of your important task and of your position in the hierarchy. On the material plane, you defend the dignity of your subtle office and the position you have reached in the hierarchy. The king of the spirit, or the disciple of wisdom, who you are in your true existence in the higher world, must prove itself in all conditions. Also in a foreign country, in exile, among barbarians or enemies, even in prison or on the cross. No harm should be inflicted to the office by unworthy behavior of the person. In the sixth step of your initiation, you create the silvery thread, the heart connection with your teacher. You establish your personal attachment to hierarchy. How am I to create the silvery thread? As on earth, so in heaven, you strengthen the connection by regularly stepping before your teacher, repeatedly conversing with him, listening to his words, and carrying out his instructions. Once the energy of the heart swells up with love and devotion, the luminous spiral will whirl out into space and naturally will encounter the teacher's ray due to the law of attraction. You can condense the silvery thread to such an extent that it becomes a subtle reality that can be felt, almost seen. The higher we ascend, the closer becomes our bond with the teacher. Now you are truly living in symbiosis with your teacher. The silvery thread is a spiritual umbilical cord. Through this interconnection, everything you need flows to you from your spiritual father via a personal channel. Strength, joy of being, light, love, comfort, hope, courage, knowledge and guidance. You become enlightened and enlighten your surroundings. Unselfish service, sincere devotion, and gratitude weave a strong thread by which all that is needful comes to us. It is easier to cross an abyss if the link with the Master is strong. The man of the future can rely on the spiritual guidance by his teacher, which is realized through intuition, knowledge of feeling, and the voice of a pure heart. You go through life trustingly like a child at its father's hand. Preserve the attachment to this inexhaustible source of strength in your earthly, everyday life. The new man is continuously connected. It is a love relationship that binds you to your Father. There is an ancient religious symbol for this, the mystical marriage of an earthly bride, for example, Saint Catherine of Siena or Saint Catherine of Alexandria, to Jesus. You seek the beloved's proximity. You suffer when he is away from you. As in a marriage, you constantly work on this love. You nurture the relationship so that it becomes ever firmer, stronger, and more beautiful. The silvery thread is a fine, highly delicate tissue that needs to be carefully protected. You deepen the connection to such an extent that it outlasts all changes of existence. The contact with your teacher must continue uninterrupted beyond all changes of planes of existence, after death in the higher world, and after a rebirth in the next life on earth. Only thus will your soul immediately find its way in all worlds. It will no longer, as in the present incarnation, have to search for decades for its true identity, its spiritual guide, and its mission. You make sure that your teacher, who already has to carry an enormous load of responsibility, is not faced from your side, from below, via the silvery thread, with even more burdens such as dejection, irritability, or aggressiveness. Do not force your teacher to break off the connection for the sake of his own protection. You always ask yourself, is my teacher smiling happily or crying over me? You strive to relieve him at least of some of his burdens. The best people are under obligation to ease the Brotherhood's excessive burden.